Hello and welcome back. Okay, so we are on return item contract. We've already killed the thieves here, so we need to return to Lugnisted. However, I've also decided to go for the Forsaken Ruins here. But before we go in, I will camp for a bit to repair and heal. So let's do so. I will also bring Erwin here with some throwing nets in case we need those. Never know what you find inside. I think this is going to be brigands, but we'll see. Okay, so let's patiently wait for the repairs. Take a look here. Let's still wait a bit. I maybe could be more efficient with my time, but this is fine. Okay, so that's good enough, I think. Let's go in. What do we have? Yes, indeed, it is brigands, and we see some tougher brigands than we are used to. Here's a raider. Here's a raider. And here's a highwayman. Okay, so I'll take a look here. 75 melee skill, which is, of course, higher than we're used to. Armor is decent. Okay. And this is also a raider. Alright, so this is probably our biggest challenge yet. Well, that's debatable, I guess. And also, I don't see everyone just yet. So they have at least a couple of hunters here. They only have short bows, though. I might still decide to retreat from this battle, but let's see. Kind of depends on, of course, the hidden opponents, as well as how it goes. With the ranged guys, if they get some lucky headshots, then that might tip the scales enough. Probably not with these short bows, but there still might be like others there. Anyway, some of them are stepping forward. I think since we're facing the raiders, I probably will be using the nets, at least one or two of them. But we shall see. I will patiently wait and see how this develops. Entirely possible, maybe not in this fight. Well, it's possible here as well, but there might be like a quite a tough enemy in the back line, like a brigand leader, maybe even a sword master or a hedge knight or a master archer. I would imagine that in this particular camp that is not the case, but it's possible. Okay, well, I'm not afraid yet, not too much, so we will be fighting here. Let's step closer, but be mindful of how we position. So, indeed. So Sigmar and Ludger are over here. So, as usual, I guess we just get close enough to trigger them, and then we handle them as they come closer. So I guess, yes, I probably want to trigger them with the northern flank, and then I have Gerbold and Esvik here as the heavy hitters. Mostly Gerbold, of course, as Esvik is using a one-handed weapon with a shield. But anyways, so Randulf is only level 5. And he does want to be at least a little bit careful. So I think we won't necessarily advance all the way. Okay, now I see more of them. Alright, so we have some crossbows there. They're only tier 1 crossbows though. So maybe it's not that bad. The pillagers here come with some semi-nasty weapons, but they're pretty easy to kill. Most likely go for them first, and then hopefully we can lower the resolve of the morale level of the rest of them. Raiders seem to have 70 resolve. He's getting plus 10 from... Is that from... Yeah, it's from Defender's Advantage, right? Yes. Okay. So how many do I see? So this is 4, 7, 10, 13. There's still 2 somewhere. So the crossbows, even tier 1s, definitely hurt if they manage to hit you, but like I said, they're only level 1s, tier 1s. Anyways, Randolph, let's move you there. And Hilmar is also a heavy hitter. Let's set up the heavy hitters here. Hilmar can take a hit or 2. He has the flexible as well as steel brow perks. Only 72 hit points, but still. So maybe step like here. He's a frontline pole armor. 20 melee defense. I can't really rely on that too much, but still. Don't want these enemies to get next to me and be able to either attack or shield wall. This shield doesn't have a shield wall though. So this guy will only be attacking or knocking back. Well, I guess he also has rotation and riposte. Those are the options. Anyways, maybe actually this spot is a bit better. Well, it's debatable actually, since we have leverage. So being surrounded by allies does come with benefits. However, it also comes with the crowded mechanic. He also has the Berserk now, so ideally I get plenty of kills for him. So we have Sven the Spear. 12 melee defense only. Okay, let's leave Hilmar here. Okay, hopefully this throwing spear doesn't wreck us. Anyways, Adalbert. Adalbert should stay back a bit, I think. He does have parry as well as 9 lives, but only 40 hit points. And also he is nimble, so he can take some hits, but ideally he doesn't need to test it, how many hits he can take. So just hold. Let's use Whirling Death and step just 1 tile closer. Okay, here's a Vandal. That's a pretty good position for us. I can engage with 1 person there. Which one of you should it be? I think maybe Ludger, if I'm going to engage. Yeah, probably. Ludger is only level 5, so he might not fare all that well in this battle, at least if he has to go up against multiple opponents. This is a pretty good spot in that case. Going up against 1 Vandal, probably. They might still have like a backline weapon or even 2 there. But of course they'll have more targets as well. And he does have a shield. And 9 lives. And 3-star melee defense for 36. So I can step next to this guy here, or maybe even just stay back 1 tile. If I step here with Sigmar, then they are, I think, probably going to be triggered anyway. Let's take a look here. Now do I see everyone? So 2, 6, 9, 12, 14. There's 1 hidden somewhere. Yeah, still a hidden opponent somewhere. Okay, what I'll do is step next to this guy. I'm not too afraid of this one. And see no backline weapons here. And there's also some protection by these obstacles here from the ranged. Well, the ranged probably goes for something else, but anyway. And that also guarantees that next round they will be angry enough that I dared touch this guy. All of them will be coming at us. That takes care of that problem. So that means I can leave Sigma here or go there. I think I'll choose this spot, but if I do so, I suppose Ludger will have to contend with 2 enemies instead of 1. But I can of course target the enemy that ends up here. This guy is quite dangerous with the semi-heavy weapon, the Morningstar, as well as the heater shield. 40 melee defense. So I probably do want to block their access to Ludger. And if I have to choose which one of these guys takes the brunt of the damage, the danger, and potentially death, it's going to be Sigmar. Definitely Sigmar. Anyways, you just step over here and wait, probably. Well, not wait. End your turn. Sven steps here. So double check. Yeah, you're the guy with Vigilant. In that case, maybe I do want to stay put, actually. He also has the 2-tile range weapon. So we'll have targets anyway. Yeah, let's actually just stay put. Just stay put. Helmer is only level 1. Okay. I might have made a mistake bringing him. Whoops, if so, but... Anyways, I believe this will be a definite win. We'll see how difficult it is, though. We definitely might have casualties, and this is still questionable what this opponent is. If it is a brigand leader, then that is definitely quite dangerous. We haven't seen one of those. We haven't even fought one of these raiders before, and now we're facing multiple. Anyways, step like 1 tile closer. We also do have the dogs. Those will definitely help. Okay, is this the last guy? That's a raider as well. Okay. And this is Swain. Alright. Probably just stay here instead of moving 1 tile closer. Okay, and like I said, let's put Sigma here in danger. The danger zone. And now that I've done this, I kind of wish I had perhaps moved Randolph here. But it is what it is. Okay, I'm wondering whether to move Swain here. I guess it's a pretty decent spot. And he also has a dog. So yeah, nets will likely be used. I might put Erwin here. He will have a good opportunity to use nets from there. However, it only covers this northern flank. So instead, I could move him here. He only has 41 hit points. Has Steel Brow to help out, but that's a bit dangerous. I don't mind if he dies, but ideally he doesn't die before it matters. So... I don't know. Definitely will move him somewhere, so it's either here or here. I think I choose this location. Covers perhaps more of the battlefield, and it's more important to net the enemies close to the middle. These more dangerous ones especially will probably demand some netting to maximize our chances of walking away from this with as few difficulties as possible. Okay, so Ludger, 48. I think we just attack here instead of bothering with shield walling. 68 melee skill. And he also does have tempo. He doesn't have dodge yet. That's one thing he will have later on if he survives. It's not much, but it's kind of honest work. Oh, you're headed back. I guess thanks. Though this guy would have been one of the easier ones to kill. He's also quite dangerous, double gripping this boar spear, but yeah, I didn't expect that to happen, but I guess that's a good thing. Okay, please step forward. So if I leave Randulf here, he might be targeted by their ranged. How bad is that? It's pretty bad. I shouldn't allow that. So I guess I go for this guy while he hasn't had the time to use shield wall. One bad thing here is that this golden dag probably goes for the flank, which means he will reach Randulf. I guess I have Sven if I can spare him to help out. But yeah, let's move here. 47 only, but go for it. Nope. And I also don't have fast adaptation, which I could have taken at some point, but haven't. Anyways, just end your turn there. Engaged by a raider there. Alright. He has an axe, so he might destroy Sigmar's shield. Sigmar has one shield in the inventory, though. Alright, they are walking closer. Got targeted by the range despite positioning there. Alright, keep on waiting. Let's wait for a target to come in range. That should happen. Yeah, you're going for the flank. These heater shield raiders I'm definitely worried about. The flail will be good there. As will Swain's bolas, hopefully. Right, that's not bad. He has Steel Brown. I like having Steel Brown, definitely. No hit point damage there. I might start using the dogs straight away, actually, but let's wait first. Alright. They are being rather intelligent here. They didn't just rush us straight away, they waited. Could go for a disarm on the pillager, but let's see, 7 turns. This guy acts in 5, he might just go there though. Okay, I suppose this is our target for Gerbold, which means I don't want to disarm him. In which case, what the hell do you do? I could even step here, but that's kind of dangerous. Step there and take the Scrama's axe. I would prefer to keep Adalbert in the back line. I can step here and block access to Swain. And with the whip, he has a good reach still. And if someone gets up close and personal, he can switch weapons. I think I like that plan. Also, Hilmar might actually get this kill here, we'll see. Right, let's move on this flank. Okay, nice bolster. No confidence for Gerbold, though. Stay put. Guess when I could move over here, or I can make even more use out of Vigilant. Having him here obviously helps against the pillager, though the pillager might decide to actually not go for Randolph and instead go for my backline. Also, this thug is waiting. So I believe Hardened has improved the AI, which is, I guess, a good thing overall. But the game is tougher. I think I might just stay put with Sven for the Vigilant. He'll have a ridiculous amount of action points. So maybe stepping here is slightly better. Yeah, I'll step there and there. Gerhard once again probably does nothing. Does Encourage help at all? Or Command? Encourage doesn't. How about Command? I don't think it helps. So do nothing. Helmer also does nothing. Alright, here they are. This guy is shield walling. I might still actually go for that target depending on the pillager's condition here. Yeah, I can kill him easily and he only has 6 initiative. If I step here though, is that bad overall for positioning? Probably not. 61. Excellent. And also actually I had forgotten I have Flail Spinner, so I get the kill anyway there. Let's see here. Uses pound and hits pillager 82. Pound hits Raider 61 first. Okay. Alright. Once again, I think I'll probably stay put. I could also step like 1 tile further and shield wall. I do like Vigilant a lot. Guess I'll just stay put. Don't do anything. Yeah, they're definitely being far more intelligent than they used to be. This guy has 11 initiative only. I go for the Vandal. No headshot this time. What's your chance to hit the head? Only the base, 75. Okay, I think I'll use a net on this guy. I have some net reserves, so that's my reasoning. Well, not all of the reasoning, but I can spare the nets. And here I could actually push this guy away. That means I get to access the hunter here. That means 1 less crossbow to worry about, and I also control a bit more of the battlefield, perhaps. Let's do it. I can use the dog now. I think I will. How can you laugh if you're stunned? Stunned with a crushed windpipe. Still managing to laugh. Okay, let's use that net. This time he doesn't laugh, okay. Alright, so this is a 5 AP weapon. I want to step out of its range. This guy is stunned, but I also, with Gerbold, if I attack this guy, sadly I get to act afterwards, after this raider goes. But the point being, I get the free attack, which means this guy probably dies, unless there's a target here, maybe. Then again, if I kill this guy now, he'll potentially have another target for that. And it also lowers the morale of the rest of them. And this target is shield walling, so I guess I do actually go for this. Probably step here as well. There you are. Okay, step there. Also, I'll check, do you guys have line breaker by any chance? I don't see it. Okay, step there. Alright. I think I wait perhaps. Though, like I've been saying, it's pretty unlikely this pillager does want to go for a Ludger here. If he does go for Randolph, it would be... if it matters for Ludger's sake, then it should be here. I think instead he'll probably go for Sven. Attacking here is a bit of a waste, but I also don't want to shield wall against just a short sword, so I think I wait and see what happens. So far it's going rather well. Okay, Sigmar has been disarmed. That doesn't really matter at all. Will this hunter though, now that Sigmar is disarmed? I don't think it matters. He can still try to punch. So the hunter won't probably try to exit there. And he only has 0 melee defense anyway. Alright, I think I just attack this thug here instead of using a dog or anything else. Yep. Nice headshot there, though he does have the steel brow. Helmer probably does the same thing. Well, that's not the same thing. He tried the same thing, but that's not the same thing. Release the hound. The hound has also failed. This is a better, improved throwing net, so maybe this raider doesn't actually manage to break free. Okay, Sven has 14 action points. Why does he not have more than that? Is there a maximum? +5 from Vigilant. Oh yeah, never mind. It's, yeah, okay, I'm just being dumb. I'm just being dumb. It's, of course, 9 + 5. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Anyways, I think he waits. Esvik does not wait. Alright, that takes care of the thug. This guy acts in 7. He has a flail. I'd rather not get hit in the head, so I think I'll go for the pushback. I could, however, go first. Actually, no, I can't. No, I can't, because the... No, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I need to focus, it seems. Yeah, I have enough action points, definitely. So first attack, that fails, then I knock back, and then I maybe even step here. I think I will step there. Though, maybe I do allow him to step back there for Swain to be able to attack twice. Yeah, okay, I will allow it. Okay. Rebuke punch there. That's somewhat amusing. Alright, I think when this Vandal steps back, we'll just attack with the cleaver, so let's not use the whip attack. Alright, Hilmar. Probably go for the Raider here. Would be nice to get some of these Raider armors, but I definitely want to prioritize just killing them quickly. If I kill this, I get the Berserk activation though. Okay. You laugh, but you won't be laughing for long. This guy has a mace, but he can't move here and try to stun. Alright. Villagers has engaged with Sven. Vandal misses and Gerbold gets to do things. Though Gerbold probably wants to wait at this point. See if another target comes in range. Probably this guy. I'll use the other abilities as well, but not just yet. Erwin might not use another net here in this battle, we'll see. And I'll wait here and see whether the cleaver can take care of this problem before I use this. Sigmar just recovers, I think. Alright. Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward situation now with Ludger. I'm kind of wasting him a little bit. Having him locked in melee with this guy. Knockback is 58, after which I could move elsewhere. But then this guy is free to go for Randulf instead. It's only 33. Maybe I attack like once and then let... well, not allow the fatigue to accumulate further. Well, there you go. I'll end there. Maybe I should use Riposte. Let's see. 26... Nah, let's not. Okay, you're being a smart cookie. I don't like seeing that here. That means I don't have an additional target for Gerbold. Oh well. Use the dog. Use the dog. Well, that takes care of that. I'll still deliver the killing blow, I think. Okay, I thought wrong. Alright, let's go ahead and... bonk. I'll reactivate that. Do I use adrenaline? I don't think I will. Next round, surely we will have an additional target for Flail Spinner. Okay, and I can probably not... well, I can skip using further nets here. So instead, what you will do, Erwin, is probably go for this guy. Well, this flanking area here, if you can call it that, it's not quite that, but anyways. Step on over there. I can still change my mind with the nets though. And if you're over there, then you're too far away. How about here? No, that's too dangerous. I think. Yeah. He has only the 41 hit points. I can just stay put as well. That's allowed. Okay, I'll do that. Feels like a waste doing nothing essentially, but anyway. Staggered. Is that even good? It's a little bit debatable. But if I land a second headshot, I do. You're now stunned. Well, then it is good. A dog has stepped forward. That's not ideal, but I think the dog has a good chance to make it out of this, despite of that. Alright, over here I'll just try to finish off. Yes, okay. Probably don't bother doing anything else. And turn there. That's fine. Yeah, this is going pretty damn well, I'd say. Pretty damn well. Can I afford to be greedy and try to dagger this guy? He has decent armor. I think I probably can, but let's not make a decision there yet. Definitely not. Things can still change. And they are dangerous. Guess I try to kill this guy. I mean, surely it's a kill. There you go. And then I wait instead of going for this one. So this guy is not going to be doing anything in a little bit. So that leaves this one who is a daggering target. So I guess I might change my mind actually. I have changed my mind. I have altered the deal. Alright, the positioning here is a little bit awkward now. I guess I probably attack with Helmer. Let's wait and see what the Highwayman does though. Yes, we also waits, I believe. I could engage here. I don't want to do that though. Vandal will die as he tries to flee. Stop hitting yourself. But yeah, I definitely want to give Sigmar here a heavier weapon at some point to fully benefit, well, benefit more from the rebuke effect. Anyways, let's wait and see if this guy still wants to shield wall or not, or if something else develops on that front. Okay, Gerbold getting hit is so far fine, but I will rapidly change my mind if he also gets hit by this guy or potentially this guy. Here I think I'll go for the morale hit of potentially killing this one. Well, it gets to the raider. Where are you guys friends? Okay, I have been hit. I have been hit. That's a bit annoying. It was a stun though. That's actually good for me because the stun has immediately worn off. However, there is of course the shockwave perk, which has now dazed Erwin and Hilmar. I guess that's not really that consequential though. But as that did happen, I think I will net this Highwayman, because now I'm worried for Gerbold. Especially since this Spear Raider might end up being able to attack him. The dog is kind of preventing that a little bit though. But I think that means that we can't afford to try to dagger this guy's armor. Also, out of curiosity, what was the chance there to land that? Let's see. 44. Okay, fair enough. Swain waits, I think. Yeah, let's wait for this guy to get out of the way and then we'll see. Yeah, out of the way he goes. Okay, so there might actually be a use for command here. I don't know though. Probably not. Mainly for the plus, well, recovers 1 action point, but I don't think that even applies in any meaningful way, so let's just probably attack here. Though if I do that, then Helmer does not get to act, so instead what I could do is move like here and use a dog. That seems okay-ish. Or move here and use a dog there. That's maybe better. And then I just step back. Right. This is only 41, getting minus 15% from crowded. Still lands it though. Alright, and Kind of tempted to go for the Hunter here instead, but I'll just also double check. You had... No, you don't. You don't have tempo. It's the other sword guy who has it. So no passing step. But anyways, go for this. Okie dokie. Though I guess what I could have done is wait and see if I can manage to disarm this guy. And in that case, maybe the daggering was still on the table. However, I think now it's too late. Kind of too late. A little bit too late. I shouldn't probably try anything like that. So instead, what will I do? I could go for their backline actually, go for a flank. I suppose I will. That might entice this raider to protect the backline and go here, but that's fine-ish. And if that happens, he'll likely be the last one alive, which means we can probably dagger him, as he will be disheartened by all of his comrades being dead. And that's a good thing. So I wonder where Lord the War Dog will decide to go. Probably here? Anyways. I think I've made up my mind. Let's not go for the daggering. Let's just kill. We'll find armor at some point. And over here, 52 melee skill. So I could try to move away. But I don't know, does that really help? I'll just attack here. Okie dokie. If I move here, then it's possible that the Spear Raider ends up next to Swain. Let's not allow that, ideally. I'll switch into these, actually. Oh, you're going there now. And that's the worn down effect. That's nice. So dogs, I haven't actually... Maybe I did look at this at some point, but I have forgotten. So dogs have wear them down. That's nice. So they're even better than they used to be. This is actually semi-insane if you manage to get a lot of dogs. Because worn down is 30% less melee defense and range defense, and non-attack skills cost 50% more fatigue. And also, of course, applies all of the fatigue penalties. This guy is now fully fatigued out, of course. Okay. I think I wait. Alright, the raider did decide to protect the backline. We'll see if my hypothesis about the daggering prospects end up being a reality. Stunned. Okay, we might still get this helmet. That's a pretty decent outcome. If so. Just getting the weapon and the shield would also be nice though. Alright, let's see. Could actually switch into the dagger with Gerbold. We've won the battle, obviously, so maybe it's already time. The ranged guys will be easy to kill. I might even be able to dagger this guy, actually. Maybe. He is also breaking, so definitely possible. Let's switch into the dagger. They aren't trying to flee yet, but this guy is definitely unnerved. Anyways, if I do dagger this guy, I don't want to damage his armor, so let's wait and see what happens. Sven hopefully gets... But then again, do I want this on Hilmar? I don't think it matters, especially, yeah, there's another target as well. He doesn't get the kill. Not quite. Left at 2 hit points. He'll actually bleed out. So, okay. Don't need to do anything else there. Alright. Probably try to disarm, but let's wait. And you wait. And now I definitely don't want to use any more nets. Let's actually go for this Vandal here. Go the long way around. There you go. Raider is fleeing. Get your dagger out in advance. I wonder if the dogs here will screw up my plan. There's a limited amount of space around this raider as well. Well, if so, then too bad. Okay. Doesn't really matter if these hunters get away, I guess. But I can try to prevent that. The dogs are out, so maybe they don't get away at all. None of them will. Alrighty. And you also have a dog still. I can actually throw this right next to you. So if I move here, can I throw it at this guy? I can also move here and throw at this one. Thanks to having Opportunist. Let's do it like that. Only 44 though. He does land a headshot with that, okay. Okay, now this guy is no longer... Well, he never was a real problem, so I'll just ignore him. With Randolph, instead get your dagger out. Knives out, everyone. Except maybe Sigma. Maybe Sigma just goes for the backline. Yeah, probably. Here or here. Let's go for this one, which is further away. Okay, Sven. Dagger. Adalbert. Yeah, let's try for the disarm. This is still a bit of a risk for Adalbert. Alright, do nothing else, I suppose. Okay, hit in the head, that's fine. What was the chance there? 51. That's pretty high. He has a reach advantage and 75 melee skill. I didn't hear the parry effect there. But it should be activated. Even with a whip. Well, anyway, he's fine. Fine for now. Okay, Gerbold. Let's move there, maybe. Not bothered with the adrenaline. Gerhard has 67 melee skill. I need to be a little bit mindful of who goes up against the raider here. Because of the limited amount of space. Yes, Vic definitely goes. Okay, Sven, dagger this guy. Need this guy to die pretty soon as well to make some space here. Alright. Disarm success. I guess I get my dagger out with you as well. Let's go for this one here. Yeah, I didn't hear the parry effect there as well. Surely it works with any one-handed weapon. Maybe it only the parry effect, the parry sound effect plays when it specifically hits the parry defenses? I don't know. Who was it? Not you. Not you. You. Yeah, still has the parry effect. I don't know. Anyway. He's still not even wavering, but now he also has a injured shoulder. Actually do this. Okay, if I don't take this spot with Sigma, then I guess a dog will. Unless, let's see. No, Hilmar can take that. Okay. Okay, one more puncture. There we go. That went rather well. It did take quite a while, because I took my time. End result is good though. We get some tools, we get a couple of armors. Get a couple of boar spears, those are upgrades. Cloth rolls, some money. Okay. And I guess I might at this point switch out this weapon. So maybe go with a boar spear. Maybe a falchion. Probably go with a boar spear. Maintain that 5 reach there. Falchion has a reach of 3. Okay, so is there anyone else who would like a boar spear? Maybe like Erwin. Alright, let's do that. And yeah, this armor, 150, 18. So who's going Battleforged? I mean, okay, yeah, this isn't quite Battleforged, but it's the heaviest we have. Sven is going Battleforged. Okay, let's switch him to the heaviest thing. Do I have a heavier helmet than this? 140, so yes. There you are, Sven. And now for these 2 pieces. 140 minus 17 stamina. So flexible is an option, I guess. But let's see here. 32, 35. Yeah, maybe it's not worth. How about this? 37. Let's probably go with this for now. Getting some famed nimble or medium stamina penalty armors will be pretty nice when that happens. So I guess these are maybe even the most useful for people who have not yet picked an armor spec. So like Ludger here, yeah. Let's give this letter scale to Ludger. That helmet is fine. And then we have the basic mail shirt. 110, is this the same piece? 15, no, this is actually just 130, never mind. Okay, this is better. Well, arguably better. Okay, and Gerhard gets this one. And then I have these 90 pieces, I guess that's... okay, that's actually worse. Yeah, you can keep with that, but you can have that. Alright, and I also have a couple of helmets. 110, 7. 127. Sure. $138, yeah, let's give that to Gerhard here, and that leaves the 127 piece. This guy's nimble. I don't want to make this too heavy, but that's only one more weight. Guess I will. Vision -2 though, never mind, actually, since he's using a whip. So I have this. Is this an upgrade for someone? Kind of. No, and let's actually do something like this. Instead, you can have that. I guess that's probably good enough, actually. Though, maybe here? For Helmer? Sure. Okay, and did I find any other weapons I'd like to use? It seems I didn't. Alright. Okay, Erwin, I think, leaves the lineup now. Let's bring in, like, Adelmar. And I also have a couple of levels. So Erwin, level 4. Melee defense, hit points. He's a promised potential character, so I think I don't go for the resolve. Instead, I go for melee skill. And let's take Colossus. Okay, Helmer, the tactician conversion candidate, level 2. Having a lot of fatigue is important. I'll take the melee defense, the fatigue, and the resolve. And I'll take student here. Okay, let's finally head back to Lugnstead. Okay, and this was a delivery to the South Kaivodar, which is over here, and it is not hostile anymore. Okay, I forgot to actually put up my screenshot of the backgrounds that can be converted. But deserters actually. I don't think a deserter is a lowborn though. One thing that would be nice as a quality of life feature would be that the descriptions here would say whether someone is convertible, and if they're not lowborn, it would say something like convertible if dumb or if with brain damage, something like that. Or maybe just the background group affiliation, if you will. Lowborn, combat, noble, something like that. Anyways, I'm not going to get that deserter. What I was considering there was that the deserter's low resolve wouldn't be a problem for this origin because of the Davkul cultist traits that you get. But that's a moot point. He would need to be dumb or have brain damage. I don't want to bother. His title, he doesn't have a title, so unlikely he's dumb. I guess it's possible, but still. Anyways. Sell garbage here before we go. And at this point, I guess I probably want to head back south. Like I think I said at the end of the last episode, probably. Don't need this many armors. I'll keep a couple though, I guess. So I didn't get a single good heater shield. Instead, I get a decayed one. Okay. Sure game. Sell one golden egg. I'll sell the goblin skewer. Oh, what did I sell accidentally there? Don't want to sell that. Sell this axe though. Okay, this food is about to spoil. I don't need that. Alright, probably ready to go. Won't be buying anything here, I don't think. Like a very marginal profit could maybe be made with these peat bricks, but... And then again, there are furs. Maybe we can make a profit with those in the south. Maybe. Okay, let's go. Onwards to Hermannshof. Retinue, yeah, that's actually a point. I do have a slot now, so... Do I want someone? It seems I still haven't met the requirements for the drill sergeant. I haven't retired a man with a permanent injury. Kind of weird that I haven't done that. Usually always I get the lookout, but I don't know. This time I feel like it's not, maybe not that important. Since it's been nerfed a little bit, maybe that's a misjudgment on my part, though. Scavenger is here, trader is here. Trade goods are more common. I don't think I've ever taken the trader as well. There's some of these that I've never taken. I don't know. What I could also do is get the donkey, but I can wait with that. I'll not get anyone as of this point. The scavenger is probably the most worthwhile, so maybe I should go for that. Maybe it's more important once you have some heavier armor, though, as you spend more tools. Not sure if that logic is sound, though. One skull drive of brigands. Well, we could do that. Do we want to do that? Probably don't care. Let's wait until daylight. Check the recruits and then probably just leave. There's some candidates, but I'm at 18. Iron Lungs Athletic. Farmhand. Farmhands can of course be converted, they are low burn. Okay, fine, I'll check him out. 3-star range defense, has got parry. Not sure if I care though. He doesn't have a star in melee skill. 1-star melee defense. By no means is he bad, but what would I use him for? Since he can't really deal damage. He does have fast adaptation though. Some things to consider when playing the Cultist Origin is that with the Acolyte of Davkul you get +2 fatigue recovery per turn. And if you have, let's see, finesse as well, you get a 20% discount for fatigue costs. And then if you even combine that with Iron Lungs, which this guy has, then you might be able to do some silly things. So that's +5 if you have Iron Lungs. And then with finesse, Indomitable will cost 20 fatigue to use. So you can keep this going forever. However, not for this guy, because he doesn't have trained. But I guess what you could arguably do is build almost purely around the defensive parry mechanic instead of trying to deal damage. It feels weird though, and we've seen, yeah, it doesn't work forever because you actually do lose weapon condition as well. So you would have like one-handed weapons in the inventory. Arguably that is, in some cases, in some ways, better than having a shield maybe. +28 melee defense by level 11 plus 45 range defense, which does get converted into melee defense once you're melee range to next to an enemy who has a melee weapon, if you have parry. I mean, this guy isn't bad, but I wonder, what would I do with him? I can only really see that weird parry build that doesn't try to deal damage. He also does get a dodge, but yeah, if you get surrounded, dodge does nothing. So trying to do tanking with someone with dodge is a bit trickier than it would be on a different mod configuration. That's a hardened change. The dodge thing, that is. I mean, he could also roll very well with the melee skill, which would allow him to kind of deal damage. Max rolled the range skill, I don't care though. Mostly he rolled pretty well. Athletic also helps. So that is a lot of defenses by level 11 if he gets that far. And he can combine that with Indomitable. But yeah, like I said, he's not quite the best Indom target. He also lacks Underdog. He does have Steel Brow. He also comes with 9 lives. I'm really torn here. Do I try to keep him and convert him or not? I'm leaning towards not, but he definitely has merit. He has some potential. He could go with heavy armor. 104 fatigue base here, which is a pretty low roll. If I had less people, then I would definitely keep him. I think I'm not going to keep him, though. I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely weird having this 3-star range defense plus parry here. And still letting him go. I mean, if he indom tanks, he can keep that up for a while. Even not having finesse. But I still don't want to make him like my black Monolith tank without having underdog, for example. So I will let him go. It's a weird situation. Spent a lot of time thinking about that, but let's check out this other guy. He is cocky. That alone, I think, means I skip him. He might still be good, though. Doesn't have polearms for a backline option. But anyway. Sigmar the Anxious. Does that mean paranoid or craven? What is that? Impatient. Yeah, that makes sense. He's also superstitious. Rambert. Why have I left this guy here? He has sure footing and he's a drunk. Drunk is fine-ish. I mean, it's good. As long as you can protect your famed items, the items that matter, but you can give those to reserve characters. Okay, I'll check this guy out of curiosity. 1-star melee skill, 2-star range skill. Both of those are pretty bad rolls and also get lowered by Drunkard. Melee defense of 10 is pretty nice. I will let this guy go. Okay. Good talk. Get the food. People sadly need to be fed. I can't have robots. When is the AI revolution going to replace mercenaries? Not in this world. Okay, this is a beast contract. I will take that. I have the ambition. Webnects. Okay, fine. That is fine. I will also check the recruits. I don't believe anatomists can be converted. Probably they can if they're dumb. But whatever. How about a poacher though? Those can be converted. Team player, that's pretty good. Ailing is bad, but it's fine. But Bernhard here. Back to basics. Okay, I'll see about these guys. So, let's see. Has the ranged combat tree. Doesn't have many other things though. Doesn't get Berserk, for example. I like Berserk a lot with bows. Let's check out Bernhard. 2-star melee skill, okay. Starts pretty high as well. That is nearly the max roll. Can go with shields if he'd like. 2-star hit points, 3-star resolve. Not perfect. I think I'll keep this guy around though. Having polearms would be nice. But I can also go with the shield build. Would that work? Kind of damage-wise. He doesn't have duelist. So it's less effective, definitely. If I really want to, I can purchase the polearm 3 though. I haven't purchased a perk tree for anyone yet, but I might do that. This guy is... I don't know. Earlier on, he would have been very nice. I think he's still someone I want to keep around. He could definitely be better, though. The perk selection is perhaps a little bit lacking. 2-star hit points, gets nimble. I guess that's good. A good combination there. Okay, fine. I'll keep this guy around. We'll see if he's with us for the long term or not. But let us take care of some... And I think I'll leave the poacher here now that I have 19 people anyway. Let us see about these spiders. For this contract I will leave Sven out. Do I leave someone else out as well? Let's bring in a trainee. Bringing like Reinhardt here. Who has 68 hit points on level 1. Well, he's fat, so that explains it. Okay. And let's also leave out Adelmar. Bring in Winrich. If I find like a good cultist, I guess I do want to let someone go. We'll see who that ends up being. It might be Bernhard. Probably him. Anyways, let's see about these spiders. Okay. So I'm hoping this doesn't count as an ambush. It does count as an ambush, okay. Sure. Why not? Let's make it interesting. It's always a little bit silly when they're actually running away from you. That counts as an ambush, but I guess you could rationalize it by them being just that intelligent. They're luring you into that ambush. Anyways, yeah, this is semi-awkward, but this is the reason why I took out my ranged guys. Part of the reason, at least. Alright. Did you have Vigilant? I always forget. I guess I could check there as well. You don't. Probably step here. Kelmer being there is pretty bad for us. Lucky hit. I will take that. This is... Yeah, this is... Probably want to use this... Yeah, then again, let's see. Winrich is here. Yeah, maybe I use Hilmar on the southern flank. Since... He's also closer to that, probably. So, wait. And... Do that and do that. Well done. Let's use this and that. 37s. Wait. Okay, it's going well. Step here. If I use dogs, that's much later. Okay, Ludger. Want to make space here. I guess, yeah, Ludger just stays here. I'll move there, actually. Rotation, maybe? I think rotation. You step here. You go there. That was a mistake, actually. I shouldn't have gone for this because I have Gerbold there. Should have gone for this. Despite this one being the higher chance to hit. Alright, sure, why not? Let's not use Whirling Death again yet. Probably use it next round. Alright, not poisoned. Poison would be pretty bad there. All convert, you're a level 1. Just try to free yourself. You have failed. We don't have a target here, but I guess I can step here. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on, buddy. That means I can't use the Whirling Death, because I have to break free. Oh well. Passing step, passing step. Okay, Sven here, come down south, maybe? That's a bit of a risk, being separated from others, though. Only a bit. But he has only 55 hit points. Getting poisoned is pretty damn bad. No spiders within sight yet, though. Come down south. And I could actually reach some targets with a whip from here. But probably don't want to move there. Then again, if I move here, then that's not optimal. So actually I will do it. Okay, please free yourself in 1. Sun, disappoint. Still not poisoned. Okay. Maybe Adalbert gets to do nothing. Sure. And the battle is won. They are leaving. There we are. We get 4 levels. Okay, Randulf level 6. Yeah, let's take some initiative here. Would have taken hit points, for example, but that mean rolled. Okay, and now do I go into flails? Probably. Still don't quite want to use him in the front line, but I guess that has to happen at some point. Go ahead and take the flail mastery here, but let's not actually use a flail yet. I don't even probably have a flail. Yeah, I don't. But you're a C+ flail now. Next up, Winrich level 2. +4 melee skill, +5 hit points. And maybe I take the resolve, even though with the cultist traits, eventually that won't be an issue. Fatigue also a possibility. I also want range defense, but that was the min roll there. The battle flow will help quite a bit with fatigue costs, though. I'll take the hit points, the melee skill, and I'll take the resolve. That is probably my last resolve roll that I take, though. Okay, small target is a maybe. I think I will this time skip fast adaptation. Colossus is a maybe, I guess. If I want to go with daggers, then between the ribs is definitely something I take. But I probably don't want to go with daggers. I'll just go with student. Next up, Helmer, level 3. Fatigue, melee defense, and hit points. Having some initiative would be nice as well. Like a fast tactician would be nice. Well, it's by no means guaranteed this guy will be our endgame tactician. He might not get there, and we might find better ones. I'll take Steelbrow. Next up, Reinhardt, level 2. Oh yeah, this guy I might actually maybe let go, because even though he does have the 3-star melee skill, he started with 49, which is nearly the min roll. Starts with a +3 melee defense, which means he's potentially frontline capable despite not having stars. He also does get shields. Takes the melee things and takes hit points. He also has survival instinct. So yeah, not really the plan, but one option would be to go with polearms with this guy. How about spears? Spears are pretty good. But if I go spears, what does he spend his fatigue on? He also does have weapon master though. It could be, what's it called? Sword staff, I believe. Might be mistaken, but he could be one of those. with Weapon Master? Maybe? We shall see. For now, though... I mean, if I take Weapon Master, I can... let's see here. When you equip a weapon whose perk group you have access to, gain the first, second, or third perk in that weapon's perk group, if you have the corresponding perk in another weapon's perk group. Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, which I might not be, so if I take all of the polearm perks and then take Weapon Master, when I equip a sword staff, if indeed that is the right word for that weapon, which is a hybrid sword spear, I will get all of those perks. But like I said, I might be misunderstanding this. In base Reforged, at some well, when I first played Reforged, this would grant you, I believe, not for hybrid weapons, if I remember correctly, but it would grant you all 3 perks. Then at some point they nerfed it, so it granted only the first 2, but here it doesn't say anything about that. I might actually, I don't really count it as a save scum, so if I reach this point, get the Weapon Master, and I have a weapon, I'll make a save and see how it works. Though, definitely possible someone just tells me in the meantime. But for now, I think I go with Survival Instinct here. He's level 2 and I'm thinking about this stuff. But of course, that same does apply to some other people. He could also go with Fast Adaptation though, since he started pretty low. But I'll go with Survival Instinct here. Alright, let us return to Eckhold's report of our success. Now we're at 4 out of 5. We gain mushrooms. Buy some wood. This is about to spoil, and this, so I will buy also roots and berries. And then I think we move on. I could buy this dog, but don't really need it. So let's go to Schwedfeste. As I head south, I guess I would want to scout some more of the Fog of War, because we are now able to deal with maybe even most of the camps that are nearby to civilization. Also, it's getting close to the first crisis. We'll see what that ends up being. This time I might feel like I want to take part in a crisis, no matter which one it is. Anyways, here is a cultist. I will check him out despite being at 19 out of 20. If he's good though, I will be letting someone go, probably Bernhard here. He doesn't seem to be good though. 1-star melee defense, that's not good enough. He has 2-star initiative and does get flexible, but he's not very good. He's brave yet fragile. Did he max roll hit points? He did, but he gets -10 there. Okay, goodbye Bernhard. Also, are you the same name actually? Yes, we get to keep 1 Bernhard. And strangely enough, it's not going to be the cultist this time. Okay. That's funny. Anyways, let's see. Do I care about anyone else? Like I said, Last time we had a caravan hand, but caravan hands cannot be converted unless they're dumb or they have brain damage, unless it's been changed by Reforged or Hardened. Not sure. I would imagine it hasn't. Let's get some tools and probably leave. Though these still haven't spoiled, so I'll actually get some bread as well. Now let's check the weaponsmith. Maybe we get lucky. We don't. Armorer. Is there any nimble famed stuff here? No. How about training people? Not in these weapon perks, etc. But I could go with some schooling. Feels a little bit expensive at this point. Unless you're level 1, maybe. So I will actually pass on that. Alright. There's this place here. I have no idea what's inside, but it's surely defeatable. Let's go see about that. And then we visit probably Dornburg. And we might be able to take on the Reckless Brothers camp, but it is on a hill. And last time I took a look there, it had also, I believe, a Hedge Knight or something like that. Or a Master Archer. Abandoned Stronghold. So it's either going to be undead or brigands. Both of which I should be able to deal with, but I will bring Erwin here, I guess. Should bring in my top lineup, so let's leave out. So do I have a dagger? Yes, you may have a dagger. Is anyone else missing that? No. Okay, let's leave out Reinhardt. Let's leave out Helmer. Bring in Erwin. Let's leave out probably Winrich. Though, I don't know. Is Adelmar, despite being higher level, is he more useful? This guy has 61 melee skill. So maybe I actually keep Winrich in the lineup. Yeah, I believe I do keep him. Alright, I think we're ready. Double check though. Seems we're fine. Seems we are. I am still using the starting flail, by the way. But if I guess the best case scenario to find a replacement, well, the really best case would be to find a famed one, but the easier enemy to defeat would be a fallen hero rather than a Hedge Knight or a Nomad Executioner. Anyways, let's go in. This is, well, I don't know, it doesn't matter whether it's the forest or the plains. It is brigands. Okay, so probably pretty similar to the last encampment fight we had. This time there is at least one reach weapon. There's this high ground here that probably helps us out. Raider double gripping. Lots of initiative. Well, I say lots. 80. I would imagine this goes about the same as the last. So there's this high ground here. This one definitely helps us. I believe we'll go with the same plan as last time. If they're not willing to come forward, we will trigger them with the northern flank. Guess I probably should have just activated Rolling Death and moved like one tile instead of waited. Alright, so Sven, you have a -1 vision helmet. let's step up here. Alright, yeah, this might even be easier than the last one. And we'll see, might be able to dagger some of these raiders again. Probably wait here instead of moving. Though I guess no, I can move already. Move like here maybe. Take these 2 spots perhaps with the shield guys. It's also the same amount of opponents as the last fight that we had in a camp. I'll just wait. Let's just wait and see how I want to do this. Whether or not they decide to move, though they are, it seems all of them are waiting. So if I move here with Ludger, is that too dangerous perhaps? Instead move there. Or even hold this flank with 2 people. Well, these 2. So Ludger maybe here. And then Sigma here. That does leave this spot open. That doesn't necessarily matter at all though. I kind of like that, but if I do so, where will Sven go? Maybe steps like somewhere here. I believe I'll go with that plan. Once again, move Sigmar closer to the enemy. For reasons. And who takes the high ground here? We'll see. Once again, I might be using nets, but if I get lucky enough, I won't need them. Throwing crap at my way. 42 lands there. How did you have a 42? It seems he's out of his throwing access though. 70 ranged. Sure. Plus 13 range defense only from the Decayed Heater Shield. Anyway. Okay, I could take the high ground here with actually multiple hikes, I guess. Seems fine. How's the heater shield doing? 10 out of 24. I don't see any access, so it might even survive this battle. Okay, so Hilmar makes a good candidate to hold the high ground, but he can also hold it here. Here or here, I think. Let's go with the middle option. Adalbert, though. Adalbert, yeah, this makes sense to me. Sure. Go ahead and use that and step one tile further. Okay, they are picking on Sigmar, but he is the right person to pick on, from my point of view. Also, one thing that I screwed up a little bit is that maybe some of the guys moved into the reserves had dogs. Winrich, for example, does not have a dog. Anyways, let's move him all the way over there. And I think I'll also move Gerhard over there. Let's make as much use of this high ground as we can. That leaves Sven. I could move here, or maybe here, or stay put. I don't think I want to move here. So let's go there. Step a little bit closer. Probably keep Swain around here. It's getting really crowded up there, and he's a bit far away. That leaves Erwin. The most dangerous opponents are in the middle section. Let's stay semi-close to that. Maybe here. Let's do so. Okay, there goes the shield. He has a backup though. Since the AI has been improved, maybe I'm not playing this as well as I could be. But I also don't want to charge them, so we'll go with this for now. Okay, so I could step somewhere and definitely get their attention. I think I like where I am. How about here though? That's still next to Ludger. Though the phalanx, I don't know, +1 reach. So it doesn't really matter that much, I guess. If I step there though, I'm making room for them. Can take that spot with Ludger. And that frees up a space there for a pike. Could also step down with both of them, I guess. Sigmar has taken damage though. I think these guys are relatively easy to kill, so instead I need to worry about this flank. I'll actually move here. Let's try to hold on to the high ground here. I'll wait just in case I want to use the dog, or maybe move one tile somewhere. Everyone's waiting around. It's the waiting game. Okay, so now step here or here. Probably go with this spot. Yeah. And just end there instead of shield walling. He has the high ground advantage, etc. Let's keep the fatigue. Okay, you keep on doing that. They aren't triggered yet, but this will trigger them definitely. So I guess we just patiently wait. Once again, would be nice to have an archer, an actually good ranged character. Might never materialize in this run, but anyways, let's start doing things. Goblin pikes are excellent for this. Okay, I'll just use the rolling death again and end. Here I could go for a disarm and back off. That seems like kind of a waste. Kind of a waste. What I could also do with some of these guys is give them throwing weapons, even if I've never leveled throwing, so they have something to do at least in these situations. Bolas specifically, probably. Anyway, I could step there. I don't want to do that. How about if I step back? Nah, I'll just stay put. Take the high ground. You hold. Get more vigilant. I could move to the middle though. Middle is fine-ish. Yeah, once they actually come in, this northern flank in the middle, well, not northern flank in the middle, these guys here on the edge are perhaps a little bit in trouble, but I think I'll be able to handle it pretty well. I'll just stay. That's fine. You do that. If I move here and they engage, how bad is that? The question is, can I kill whoever engages Swain quickly enough? Try to get to the high ground next round. If I do so, then which spot will I go for? I don't know. Once again, do nothing. That's not nothing though. They're moving. That's the wrong way, buddy. Pike power. Alright, well, if they're not willing to engage with us, I guess we step down here and use the pikes. That's fine as well. Wrong way, dude. We're here. Do things. One of us needs to do things, and it should be you. Come on, be proactive. Wrong way again. Okay, I guess we have to come down. Kind of have to. Fine. Fine, have it your way. That's a lot of spear walls. Okay, fine, we'll move. We will move. The question is exactly where. Guess we use Esvik in front since he's nimble, like here. Move Hilmar there. Or here. Would take the high ground. Sadly, he doesn't have Pathfinder. Nor Elusive as of yet. Hilmar acts in 6. I don't think they'll engage us anyway. Not yet, so whatever. Even if they would, it doesn't really matter. And at this point, let's try to disarm this guy. Vinrik is the low level. Since I'm stepping down anyway, I might go there. I think I will. Make some room for others there. I could only move... I could also just move one tile with Gerbold and keep the... Well, I can actually do more than that. I can also use the stupid adrenaline, since I have that. However, this guy is rather dangerous, and he also has a disarm, since he has axe mastery for a bearded blade. And disarming the flail would be pretty bad. Maybe just move there though, and I can step on some other spot. Here. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I can still activate Whirling Death already, if I'd like. I will. Let's keep it going. Right, step there. Don't shield wall, probably. Or will you? That's plenty of opponents, but perhaps it doesn't. Well, only 33 melee defense. Okay, I probably changed my mind in that case. Let us shield wall. Okay. Just step like there. Maybe step here with someone like Randulf instead, though maybe this is... Yeah, let's step down there actually. Okay, and go in. Go in, I believe. This spot blocks them more, so I guess I probably go for that. Sigmar. So if I step down here, he's more vulnerable. But I also want this spot for a pike at some point, so I guess I do step down there. And let's also use the dog. I'm definitely playing slow, but I suppose if you've watched me play before, that's nothing new. Here I'll just take the high ground, probably. Can still throw, yeah, sure. He tried. Erwin there. So now we're not using this high ground. Too bad. That is just too bad. 91 miss. Despite the shield wall, we're hit. Not here though. Okay, that's a daze. That's a miss. Just attack. You have a target there. However, does anyone else want this spot? Maybe not yet. Yeah, that's fine-ish. Then again, Randolph could go there. But I can also make spots here. Make space, so do that. We'll see who's left standing for daggering targets. This guy's coming in. That's a little bit dangerous. Do I step here instead? That's bad for the crowded. This guy's wavering though. So, I don't know. Do I care? Do I care about him? Do I mind? I mind a little bit, but how much do I mind? Maybe not that much. I also have a disarm potential as well as plenty of firepower. So let's do it. Let's do that. Right, is anyone going to end up there? Not yet, it seems. Yeah, no one. So once again, I have no second target for Flail Spinner, but I do need to be careful with Gerbold. I seriously don't want him getting hurt, getting killed. He's my best damage dealer, so he's a little bit flimsy, as we've noticed. So probably this spot and use adrenaline. Well done. Though, did I need to use adrenaline? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, whatever. Too late. Most likely... Yeah, I want to make space, so I want to attack and move. Sure. Here, I believe. Unless... Well, I mean, that's probably fine in that case. Especially with the high ground. 2 possible people to damage Sven, though. I'll take it. I could knock back, actually. Do I want to do that? Maybe. I'll just attack, probably. It's not much, but it's something. There is a scenario in which not shield walling here does end up getting Sigmar killed, but I think it's a pretty low chance. And at this point, maybe having some people die isn't even that bad. I can replace them with better people. This guy is pretty near to death. Yeah, I think I probably made a mistake using adrenaline. At least if this guy ends up next to Gerbold here, in which case I would have 2 targets. Oh well. Anyway. Let's see, who's left to act? I mean, it's most likely just go for... Well, then again, I could take the high ground here and go for this guy. Is anyone capable of blocking? Erwin. That's actually decent. Sure, go for that. Also has a dog. Let's switch into these. Maybe I should start with those out. They don't come with the stagger stuns, though. Probably get through this fight without nets. Okay, so since we're dazed, maybe not overspend fatigue on attacking. Also has the vigilant. Might just actually recover. As weird as that is. Let's wait and see what develops with this guy in particular. Okay, we've been hit on Erwin. Erwin is now in trouble. Too bad for him. Alright, and they're ganging up on him. So he definitely might die. However, if I get this skill, actually I had forgotten all about Hilmar, so if I get this skill, then we're free to move with Gerbold either here or here. Well, we don't. This guy still has some armor. 16 initiative. 4 initiative. Maybe I'm now needed on this flank. On Adalbert. Try to disarm this guy. I think I'll go here. Moving a lot around. Can't get to a spot where I could try to disarm the backline weapon. I'll go here. And actually, can I get this kill with you? I don't think I should even try this. Not with this weapon, not with the days. So I'll actually probably do... Well, I could do a rotation. Yeah, that makes sense, because then I get the 2 attacks from Gerbold. Though it does leave Gerbold up against this dangerous opponent, which is a consideration. There's also this guy to worry about, and this one is coming in. It's a little bit of a risk. I think I'll still take it. And then do nothing else yet. Okay, let's see if my plan works out. Well, not as well as I'd hoped. So now he definitely is in trouble. I can still rotate out of there, maybe. Yeah, this raider with the axe. Maybe that was a dumb move. Okay, I'll go ahead and activate both of these. I'll also wait, just in case I get like disarmed. It's a little bit of an abusive thing to do, but I'll do it. I did get disarmed. Okay, go for this guy since... Actually, he's acted already, but... Yeah, I don't want Gerbold getting targeted. And this is also the most dangerous weapon out of these two. Who's laughing now? Alrighty. Just go for the higher chance here. It's a kill. Step back because of this guy. Alright. A couple of us are in trouble. Sigmar might still be fine though. I can push this guy potentially away. Shield wall. Maybe even kill this one. Erwin is more in danger, I believe. 57 there, I'll just go for it. Probably use the dog, but let's wait first. Okay, so push knockback is 57. It is 20 fatigue to use. I think I'll go for that. Get lost. Okay, so now I could move away. That's probably fine. Yeah, he's pretty close to death. I mean, he has 9 lives, but still. Let's move away. Okay, and Hilmar probably goes for this guy. Though I do have the Berserk, so is there a possibility of getting a kill? If this guy ends up here, then maybe. So I believe I will wait. Here I will not wait. Die, please. Close enough. How dare you wait? Okay, I think I'll stay there. Let's stay there. 79 fail. If I wait, I could use the dog. This guy is probably ending up here or here. Nah, let's just do that. Okay, stagger improves Erwin's chances. Okay, I think probably I should be using the net now. Erwin is a cultist with promised potential. He's not like excellent, but still probably better to keep him alive. I could attack. I won't have the fatigue nor the time probably to use more nets. However, I also have an injured shoulder for minus damage. So I will go ahead and equip the next net. Here I wait. I could go for disarm there. But I'll wait. So I could do a disarm plus try to free. Never mind, not enough fatigue. Then I just do that. Yeah, it's looking like Erwin might be about to die. Though I can do the rotation, yeah. Rotation is an option. However, if I have to choose whom to rotate, it should be Gerbold. Gerbold is not yet quite as much in trouble. But if I commit to this position, then I cannot get to Gerbold. A lot will depend on what Hilmar and Gerbold will be able to do damage-wise here. I think we can kill this guy with the axe pretty easily. He only has 10 melee defense. He's not taking any damage yet though. And I could improve my chances of killing by just attacking there. But once again, that does abandon Erwin to his fate. So probably actually do the rotation there. It also keeps Swain safer, so I will do that. And this time probably use the riposte. Though it's unclear if that's ever going to do anything. Depends on where these two want to go. So I'll not actually use it. This guy has lower initiative, so... You get your weapon back. Alright, is it time to use a dog again? If I do use it, there's a chance that it gets itself killed. Bandit is seemingly going for Eswig. I wonder what the Vandal will decide to do. There's basically two options, here or here. Might also decide to go for a flank. The dog AI has been improved, so it might decide to just go for like this one. Engage only one target, in which case it's perfectly fine, or it might decide to go there. In any case, I can replace dogs, so let's see. Okay, it's going here. In that case, I should have probably used it there. Okay. Now I could step here. I think I will. More targets in range. Oh, and that's where you ended up. Okay. I'll go for this guy. Okay, 2 hits, yeah, but no kills. And since I've been waiting with Hilmar, he does act after both of these guys. So Gerbold is in trouble. We'll see how it goes. Oh, you're going there. 1 down. Alright, go for the one who's next to Gerbold. Don't use the dog yet. Use it probably afterwards. Step down and go for this guy. So that means there's no space for the dog here. Oh well. Shield walling. I could wait and see if that's still there. Oh yeah, okay. Gerbold is definitely in trouble. I have a disarm attempt here. I should go for it. I do get it. Adalbert might have just saved Gerbold's life. It was a calculated gamble rotating into this spot, and it might not go as well as I had hoped. And now Adelbert is also completely fatigued out. Okay, that's good. Okay, and Hilmar, now let's hopefully get a kill here. Come on. There we go. Repel might actually be what I should do here. Though both of these guys have acted, so maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. In that case, go for this one. Okay, there we go. Now that this guy's here, though, he's potentially taking that spot. If this fight goes without casualties, then I suppose we might have gotten a little bit lucky. Okay, Sigmar, you're done with the fight, I believe. Though I could still use the cover ally function if I'd like. Doesn't seem like it's... well, could do it here. Slight chance, ever so slight of a chance to get hit by one of these ranged weapons, but he also has the 9 lives. Okay, I changed my mind. You're not out of the fight. Let's use this. Cover ally. Stagger and stun. Nice. I guess I should use a net again. Feels like a waste, but Gerbold is far more valuable than a net. Oh, I can actually, yeah, that's a stump, so I can hit over it. Should have noticed that earlier, but I didn't. Also looking like, well, we can maybe dagger this guy, but there's a dog next to him. 140 armor, maybe I don't care that much about it. Just recover. Oh, going for Erwin. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, let's just go for damage here. Alright, let's see if I get a lucky stagger. I don't. So, Erwin, perhaps dead. Knockback is still a thing, though. But I don't want this... yeah, I don't want him next to Gerbold. Gerbold is far more valuable. Let's attack. Alright. Gerbold seems to be fine. Can only move one tile. I'll wait, probably move next to this one. He's alive. Actually, I should... yeah, with the Berserk, I should wait until the target is... well, that comes with the initiative penalty, but still, I should probably wait. Rude. Nasty. Gerbold is, I believe, still completely fine though. Injury sucks though. At least a little bit. Yeah, that should now be easy to kill. Let's wait and see if that indeed is the case for Hilmar. Oh yeah, and switch. Oh, you're back. Oh, that was... okay. Well, thankfully Gerbold did not get hit. What are you doing, Cassio? Why have you not gone for this hunter here? Okay. Let's super make sure that Gerbold doesn't get... You know, there's this one as well. But I get next to him. Okay. We're fine. Everything's fine. And actually, at this point, yeah, I can go for the daggering, except you don't have a dagger. Okay. But others will have knives. Oh yeah, I had forgotten. There's also this raider. Won't be daggering him. I'll do a weird move here. Just to make some... never mind. Failed. How about again? Okay, this... that way we get this spot open for the guy with the dagger. There we go. Took a while again. No, you don't get to leave. Though the dogs are taking the spots here. Oh well. If the daggering fails, then too bad. Okay, it seems it might fail. Only have the one rotation as well. And Winrick is out of fatigue, it seems. Maybe he can get like one puncture. I'll just recover though. Now there's two people there. Well, it's also failing. Finally. His armor is gone, but his helmet is still there. I can't actually take a look at the helmet. It's a 120 something. I don't know. We don't need that, but I don't know. I've already committed in a way. So I'll see it to the end. Like so. Alright. That ended up being much tougher than I thought. But no one died. Once again, took a lot of time to do that. But if the end result is no deaths, then I will do it that way. I get some helmets. I get a warfork, a bow spear. Nothing truly spectacular, but things anyway. At this point, I probably pretty soon want to invest in the donkey. The inventory is pretty quick to fill up. Ooh, 50 actually is the value of one of these worn kite shields. 23 range defense, 13 melee defense, a lot of durability. Might even use it, maybe. There we go. Okay, Ludger level 6. Takes melee defense, takes hit points, and takes melee skill, I think. It's only +2, but having more is obviously good. Fatigue would be okay to have, but need to make some choices here. Alright. I guess he picks up dodge at this point. Only 62. How is it that low? Base is 111. Okay. Guess he's carrying a lot of things. Actually, it might be that survival instinct is more reliable at this point. What am I taking with this guy? Lots of blue things, which means maybes. I suppose I'll probably take Sweeping Strikes and Death Dealer, but I'll have to wait until I get a two-handed sword to benefit from those. Vanquisher might be okay. Exploit Opening might be something I want. Even Colossus is something I might want. I'll do Winrik's level first here. Range defense. Melee skill, which was a min roll, and more hit points, which was also a min roll. And also, yes, he has anticipation, so the range defense is even better. Let's take that anticipation. Okay, I'll decide on Ludger's perk on my own time. Let's try to reach Dornberg without doing a battle, though. Will it be night time? Yes. Alright, in that case, let's wait for morning. Sigmar no longer suffers from cut arm. Okay, there we go. I'll take a look at the recruits here. There is a cultist. He's kind of expensive, but yeah. You are not good though. Max rolled melee skill, but no stars. 2-star initiative. I'll let this one go as well. At this point, it might be worth considering maybe even skipping cultists and instead looking for other backgrounds that are convertible. Convertible, I guess, is the right word instead of convertible. Anyways, dismiss Gismund, yes. Like I said, I'll think about Ludger's perk on my own time. This is enough for now. I might do some shopping here. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.